In this video, we will talk about the useReducer hook. The useReducer hook in React is used to manage complex state logic within the component. And it's an alternative to the useState hook, especially useful when the state has multiple subvalues or when the logic for updating the state is complex and involves several conditions. This is how the syntax looks like. It is a destructuring assignment where the state represents the current state object. The dispatch is a function used to dispatch the actions to the reducer. So the useReducer hook accepts two parameters. First one is the reducer function. This function defines how the state should change in response to different actions, while the initial state represents the initial state. We will implement the counter example with the help of useReducer hook. Let's create the component useReducer.js. We require 3 buttons here. So this will be meant for increment, second one for decrement, and the last one for reset. Let's write down the useReducer syntax. We need the destructuring assignment. I'm going to specify the current state as count. Then we have the dispatch function, useReducer. The first parameter is the reducer function. Second one is the initial state. Let's now define the initial state and the reducer function. So const initial state equals to 0, and I'm going to create a reducer function that is a callback function. This accepts 2 parameters, the state and the action. So inside this, we are going to use the switch statement that will accept the action parameter. So action, you can say, is a set of instructions which we are providing to this switch statement, wherein we are going to specify certain cases. The first one will be an increment case. Return, we need state plus 1. Second one, decrement, return the state minus 1. Case reset will be return initial state, and we also have a default case where we are going to return the state. A reducer function is now available to be utilized inside the useReducer hook. Now what is the next part? We also need to use event handlers on click, and we need to utilize the dispatch function. We need a callback function that uses dispatch, and inside this you have to mention the cases like increment, decrement, and reset. So for the increment button, it will be increment Then for the decrement button, it's decrement, use dispatch. And then for the reset, we have reset. Let's render the count value using h1 tag count as count. Let's render the component, useReducer. So we have an increment button, we also have decrement button and a reset button. This is all for this video. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos.